Welcome to the TVNews.tv for Friday, May 14th, and we begin with the Sports TV News.
The Sports TV News is brought to you by Sando Communications. Sound judgment, solid credibility, and superior results. This is Sando Communications.
In just a little over a month, the biggest sports event on the planet begins, and it's called the World Cup. Billions are expected to watch the month-long mother of all football events. And ESPN has announced that they will throw more money at the World Cup than any other event in their over 30-year history. Well, with us now is EMAC, Eric Mackerlin, and we pose one simple question. Eric, will the World Cup be a boon or a bust for your source for sports?
Well, Jeff, to be quite honest, I'm a bit of a soccer booster here in the United States, and it's going to be a big boom. I think that the American sports networks are beginning to recognize just how important a sports property and how lucrative a sports property any kind of European or international soccer match can be. You know, we ought to take a look, before we even get to the World Cup, in just a few weeks, Fox is going to be airing the European Champions League live from Madrid. It's going to be a match between Bayern Munich and Inter Milan. It's traditionally the crescendo of the European soccer season. Originally, it was going to broadcast this live on FX on the cable tier on May 22nd. However, it decided that the response from advertisers was so good that they were going to move it to run live in the afternoon at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the mother channel, on the network. That's really an unprecedented move for a soccer property in the middle of the springtime in the U.S. That's really a landmark move. So this does not sound so crazy to think that ESPN would be investing in the World Cup this way. I think it's a fantastic idea. The game is continuing to grow here in the United States, in North America. MLS has just announced that it'll be adding its 19th franchise in 2012 when it adds a team in Montreal. And every summer, Jeff, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but a lot of European pro teams come to the U.S. for really large exhibition paydays. It's all the big names, the Manchester Uniteds, the Glasgow Celtics. It's the kit from Glasgow that I'm wearing right now. AC Milan, Chelsea, Rangers, all of these big names in European soccer come to the U.S. and they regularly sell out stadiums, 75, 80,000 seat stadiums, and to capacity for soccer matches. And the reason why, Jeff, is that it's the kind of quality of soccer that we don't usually see here in the United States. Now, MLS is not doing so well as a television property. ESPN is not as happy with it. But they do know, and they do know from the ratings they've been getting on weekends for the English Premier League, that there's something there. There's a chance to grow the audience. There's a chance to grow the game in the U.S. by giving people European soccer. That's why, again, we saw ESPN going live on Saturday and Sunday mornings with the English Premier League on ESPN2. That's why we see Fox Soccer Channel now moving to HD on so many systems around the country, although regrettably not yet on DirecTV. There's still room for this to grow, both as a sport and both as a revenue generator, Jeff. And I think it's going to be a big boom, not only for ESPN, but for Fox Soccer Channel, for regional sports cable networks, and also for Gold TV, another secondary soccer cable network.
I have a couple of caveats here. I'm not taking the complete pro side because I do believe it's going to be a boon for ESPN in a couple of ways. I know from dollars and cents it's projected to be break even, and that's all well and good. But I see this as a huge springboard for ESPN3, which is formerly ESPN 360, the internet video side. I see it as a big springboard for the ESPN 3D network. But here's my caveat. The games, the times in the United States, because it's in South Africa, which is German time, plus 6 hours, the start times are at 7 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and 2 p. And that's it. So there's nothing even remotely close to prime time. How do you respond to that?
Well, Jeff, ESPN has gone through this before when the World Cup was broadcast live from South Korea and Japan. We don't live in the same world that we lived in 10, 15, 20 years ago. You say that, those are really lousy start times, but everybody's got a DVR now. And these soccer fanatics will program their DVRs to record all of those games. I think America and the market here is ready for this, Jeff. And, between time shifting and, the fact of the matter that we've got a really incredibly enthusiastic audience here, I think ESPN is doing the right thing. And we also, need to think about what does this mean for ESPN's other properties. Like you rightly point out, ESPN 360 is going to be, or ESPN 3 is going to enjoy a real boon here. But what about the rest of ESPN's online properties? They're essentially setting themselves up to be the online destination in the English-speaking world for soccer, for World Cup soccer coverage. And what's that going to mean for their online revenue and so forth? I think overall this is nothing but a good thing for ESPN. It's a way for them to show themselves to the international marketplace, to, again, be seen as a trusted partner. I think this is nothing but a good thing for them. And when we go to the next World Cup in 2014, I think ESPN will be perfectly positioned to make it another huge event.
I think it warrants a lot more discussion. I have a lot more opinions about FIFA soccer and what they could do to help themselves. It's fodder for a lot of back and forth, spirited back and forth. And we'll do that as we approach the event. I am reserving, there are three days where France plays in the preliminaries. I will be glued to that because I've memorized La Marseillaise. I plan to sing it all in French. In the meantime, Eric, we will see you then again next Friday.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jeff.
And that's about it for today's edition of the TV News. We will be back on Monday with top news, plus the big picture news analysis and commentary. Now, if you've missed any recent editions of the TV News, you can catch up very, very quickly with just one click in our archives. I'm Jeff Grimshaw. We thank you for watching. We thank all of the men and women in uniform who put their lives on the line every day to keep us safe. And as always, go out and make it a great weekend.
The TV News has been brought to you by American Ingenuity TV. For all of your electronic marketing and creative challenges, American Ingenuity TV is simply the solution.